Welcome to the MLB Prospect Show, powered by the BATX. I'm John Meller. He's Josh Inglis. Game 7, ALCS. Did I mess up your name again? You're kind of shaking your head.
Yeah, you got my name. You got my name wrong again.
Inglis.
Hosting duties are tough on you.
Oh my God. Game 7, ALCS. NLCS, it doesn't even feel like it happened, to be honest. Just like sweep by the Dodgers pretty easily into the World Series. ALCS has been where all the drama has been. I guess before we move on to the ALCS, because that's going to absolutely dominate the show, Ohtani, 3 home runs, 6 inning pitches, 10 strikeouts. Is that the craziest performance you've ever seen on a baseball field? Like, his generational stuff.
For sure. I've talked to a lot of people about it, but like I was at a card show the day after, like trying to scoop up all the Ohtanis that aren't probably priced, because I mean, once he gets another ring and then probably gets maybe a MVP, World Series MVP after he was injured last year, I don't know. He's checking a lot more boxes, but you'd have to go to like fast pitch or like some rec leagues to like find someone who's done numbers like that. I don't think it's been done professionally anywhere, but that second home run that went like 750 feet too. Like these weren't wall scrapers. This was a big boy playing big baseball.
The one was like a slider. It was down and in. It wasn't even in the strike zone. He absolutely nuked it. Like, it's not like it was like a middle pitch where he left over the plate. And
lefties love it low and inside though. The lefty swing just loves that low inside pitch.
I saw like people were trying to make a comparison, like what would this be like in other sports? And it's basically like your quarterback like lining up and having like 3 sacks, like a forced fumble. like how that doesn't happen. Like, I saw other people comparing like who's the closest athlete maybe to him, and like people were saying maybe Wembanyama because he's like defensive player of the year and he can also score. But I was like, that to me doesn't count, because like basketball, you're expected to play offense and defense. And like it'd be like the same in hockey. Like, you're expected to play offense and defense. So you're not expected to pitch and hit, right?
No.
That's completely 2 different things. I'm like, I don't even think you can compare those two. So the Ohtani stuff is just insane. I feel like every time I watch him, kind of take it for granted a little bit. Probably be the best baseball player I've ever seen over the whole course of my life. I doubt we'll see something like this again. But
and he went 50-50 last year.
I know it's actually not. I was thinking about that during the Philly series, because like he had 55 homers and he's striking out Kyle Schwarber, who had 56. And you're like, what other player is going up there and throwing 100 against a guy who was like, he was basically competing with for home runs too, right? Like, just nasty. It's just insane.
There were some people calling him out for not hitting in the series, like 2 games into the series. You're like, oh, you're like, no, he'll be fine. Like I was on Arizona radio talking about it. I'm like, the guy's pitching game 4. He has his opportunities. He's not going to feel like the moment's too big for him. Don't worry, he'll be fine. And then off.
I mean, they also weren't pitching to him the first couple games. They were completely pitching around him. You could tell that was happening too. So, I mean, you're not getting hits. I mean, there's nothing to hit. So we'll move on to the LCS. Obviously, big game 7, Jays, Mariners. Where you want to start here? I know you have Jays to win the American League, and you're kind of talking
about I got 1,000 return for Jays division, Jays AL, and then like 800 for Jays AL. So there's a bit online trying to figure out how to hedge it today without just straighten. I mean, we're not in a bad spot. I could just bet straight Seattle money line and guarantee myself $500 or $1,000, which I probably don't want to do, but I haven't looked at it too much. I think somewhere with the total, it's 7.5. I'm assuming the Seattle team total is 3.5, which seems high. If I could get it like the Seattle team total over 2.5 at a good price, that was the hedge I did where we were going to go to Detroit.
Yeah.
So I bet Seattle over, and then when it was 2-2, I was locked in either way. So hopefully I can get something like that, but I doubt it.
Actually, so the over 2.5, because I was looking at this morning, it's -200. That was the alt total. No, 3.5 is the So baseball's a tricky sport, because like if you're basketball or football and there's a spread, and say the Mariners are like +4.5, you can be like, well, I'll take the spread. And then hopefully the Jays win, but keep it close. Like, they cover the spread. You get one of those spots where you could kind of double dip and get both, but baseball's not that, doesn't really have that angle to it. So it's kind of hard. I mean, you're in a great spot because you always want the underdog as your hedge team versus the favorite. You don't want to be laying a bunch. So the fact that they're like +115, +110 on the money line, that obviously really helps you too. So you could guarantee the $500 and then buy a ticket to the game, and that would cover the cost of your ticket to the game.
I'm trying to go now. I'm trying to get there now. I haven't got the green light from the wife. me and a buddy are trying to figure out. Like it's gonna work out. I'm like 90% sure I'm gonna go. She hates me, so she'll just let me go.
I've learned many times with postseason baseball, it is like very expensive. You know, like in marriages, you have like these point system. You're kind of like withdrawing from the points. Like I'm going to go to this game, and then you're trying to pause it
Yeah, I
back
got to
in.
put it in somewhere else, right?
Yeah, you got to cut the lawn. You got to do the laundry, all those things. Baseball postseason run by your favorite team is probably the most expensive thing to like use those points on because it's every day. So like when I went to the Tigers games, it was like game 3, game 4, back to back. You're like back to back days of, hey, can you watch the kid? I'm gonna leave, and then you're like, man, if they move on, it's going to be, we're back into Detroit next week for 3 straight days. Like, how do I get to those games? So that is, I feel like postseason baseball is probably the hardest one to like navigate as a fan if you're trying to go to all these games and also not end up in a divorce. That's
no, it's not going to be that much. Depends on how out of control I get. Obviously, going down to the city if I have to go down at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and how gassed up I get. But I mean, the kid just had his birthday party here on the weekend. 7 kids, 4 of them slept over. They're in grade 3. Did 2 rounds of home run derby with all 7 of them, and then played a 6-inning game with them. So I put in some time this week, so I think I'm okay.
That feels like a nice deposit into the bank account there that you
yeah,
can
I'm still on the outside. I still probably owe.
Bobby McPherson, game 7, Toronto, worth it. I will say I was at, that's gotta be like 10, 12 years ago now. I was at the Bautista bat flip game. I just happened to go. I don't know, like my cousins live in Toronto. They're Blue Jays fans. So like, we have an extra ticket. Do you want to come to the game? And I drove up to Toronto for the day, and it happened to be the Bautista bat flip game. That was insane. Like the energy in there. And I kind of feel like it's probably going to be the same today. So if you are in Toronto and you are looking to go, I think you should personally go, but that's just my opinion. So
I think I'm looking at some of the chat stuff. Nick Portal saying something about dinner. I think it's going to have to come down to a monetary deposit to be like, okay, if the Jays win, here you go. You can, yeah, I think that's how I'm going to get away with it ultimately.
Yeah, I've run that trick before too. It's like, hey, do you want to go to the mall? Like maybe Lululemon has a sale. We want to go in Lululemon. You need anything? Then you're like in the back of your head, you're like, I know I'm going to a game soon, so I'm setting it up here. JP Sport saying, tell her you need to see it live for betting purposes. It's a job requirement. That is the best part about our job is you could sneak that in there to get to the game.
I've done greasy shit like that where you just like you come up with the sad face already. You're like, fuck. She's like, what's the matter? You're like, God, I got to go to the city for baseball tonight. I mean, I don't want to, but I have to. I'm sorry. We'll make it work. I might be able to pull that one off. I got my buddy's messaging me right now with ticket prices for standing room only. $193 US.
Oh, that's
and I'm a standing room guy. I would love standing room more than 500s.
Does Toronto? So in Toronto, you get in trouble because I know this is the thing in Detroit. You get in trouble if you say you bought like a 500 level ticket and then you try
to like down into 100 levels in the
they'll be like, you don't have a standing room only ticket, like go back to your seat.
That's what I'm saying. I'd rather have the standing room only seat that's cheaper than the 500 that's more expensive because you can go all around the what's the damn word called?
Oh, around the ballpark?
Yeah, in the ballpark, but like above the stands. What do you call that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where all the vendors are. What's that word called?
Concessions.
Yeah, no, concourse. Thank you.
Concourse.
That's the word, Darren. That's the word.
There you go. Concourse. Everyone helping us out. They were saying in the chat here, you should say that your live bets are better in person. So Boo was saying
I need to grandstand. Debbie, I need to go. There's my edge. I need to grandstand.
You should say it's a work thing and you got to go because you're supposed to be live betting 4 covers and it's better to do in person. You could just combine all that together here. So let's get going into the picks here. You have 3. I have 1. We'll go for you for 2. And you're going with a Yurfie in game 7 here. And then you have another one. Implement. Break these 2 down.
It's just plus money off the bat. And you've seen in these playoffs that things just get kind of dicey early in the game. Obviously, versus top lineups, pitchers, there's going to be a ton of nerves in both of these games. We saw it with Shane Bieber in his first inning. There was just struggles. Oh my God, she's calling me right now. Get back to John. Let's pull this off. John, go back to the 2-shot.
All right, I'll do my bet here.
Hold on. No. We'll get this. Okay. Debbie, you're going to be on the show right now, okay? So don't say anything bad about me, but hold on, okay? Oh, wow. That was a nice okay. Hi, Debbie. You're on the show. Say hi to the chat. There you go. All right. If Will gets tickets for standing room only, can I go down to the baseball game today?
What baseball game?
What game 7, bro?
Okay.
Okay, deal. If I win some money, I'll share it with you.
Sure. Good luck with that.
Are you upset or no?
No, it's okay. Go.
Okay.
But I need to take. But Hoagie have the appointment needs to go.
What time are you getting? Okay. That's a green light. We'll figure it out there. You're awesome. The chat thinks you're amazing. That was the easiest thing ever. All right. Have a great day. Love you. Thank you. Bye. Boom. Look at that. See, sometimes you get
I don't know if you actually got the green light there. That was
No, that's a green light. I know her. That's a green light.
I don't think that would be just go. That's what I heard, but you kind of set her up there too. She had no chance.
Oh, she had to. That was the whole part of it.
Yes. All right, let's go get back to your picks. That's hilarious. Like you just had her live on air.
Yeah, so funny. What game, she says. Anyway, Yurfie, back to the Yurfie. Nerves are going to be high. Game 7, top of the order. Shane Bieber obviously had to work through his early stuff and his what's the word I'm looking for? His adjustment that he made after his first inning in game 3 was absolutely incredible. But give me that ball that doesn't spin early. We'll take it. And I mean, on the other side, they hit Kirby. They hit him, and at plus 115 in a series that's seen a lot of runs. Yes, it's not the Jays bullpen that you could maybe bet against, but plus 115, especially, and this is a nice guy bet where you're like, okay, this is a slight hedge, because as a fan, the most worrisome inning is going to be the first 3 batters of that game, and see how this game settles in. And this one might ease any disappointment. So Seattle top heavy in the top 6. After that, it kind of gets ugly once you hit Rosarena in that order. And I mean, Kirby, 8 hits, 8 in runs in his 3 home runs, and gave up 3 home runs at T-Mobile. So hopefully something early here. Plus 115 is a good price, I think.
Want to break down Ernie Clement too?
Yeah, he's just become my favorite player in this lineup who doesn't strike out. And I'm going to take him over 1.5 total bases at a good plus 154 here. And he's become a catalyst in this offense. Went from 7. He's in the 6th spot. He's hitting extra base shots down the line. He had a triple off of Kirby in game 3. So there's a good familiarity factor there. And he has 3 multi-hit games in this series, 12 total bases in the series. Right now, I think he's the number 2 betting favorite on this team for the ALCS MVP behind Vlad, who's the betting favorite heavily at about 50% implied. So someone you want to cheer for, someone who's had great at-bats, and someone, if Dan Wilson gets on the mic again, like they've had in back-to-back games where they're like, how do you think George Kirby did the first couple innings? And then Ernie Clement rips a ball down the line for 2 bases. So I want to take him on the bases of plus 154 instead of the hits, runs, RBIs at that plus 105 mark. Varsho hitting in front of him hasn't been great. I know Barger had a good knock yesterday, but his swings haven't been great. But Ernie and himself in the 6 hole, he's my guy today. I'm going to back him at plus 154.
Okay, before we move into the next couple bets here, I agree with the chat here. Phil saying that was the equivalent of asking your mom if your friend can stay the night in front of the friend. Cheeseburger Eddie saying it was the equivalent to it's fine, but we definitely know it's not fine. That's how I heard it. And then Nick Perez saying, yeah, that was wifeness for you do what you want. That was a loaded. And then Boog up earlier said that's a trap. It does feel like a trap. I feel like now you got to play it's for work card though. That's
well, I've played my hand. I can't revert back and say it's a work.
I feel like that bails you out. But all right, I'll do my pick here. We got 2 home runs bets. I got 1. Jingles has 1 as well. I'm going with Eugenio Suarez to hit a home run plus 425. I actually do think DraftKings moved this to plus 433. So if you want a better price than the one I got, I think that might still be sitting out there. That's where it was right before we came on air. Lord Farquaad here. People put that on Twitter. Can't unsee it once you put those pictures side by side. He is just one of those players where he has one swing and it is to lose his shoes for a home run. And honestly, I kind of love it. I don't really care. I don't want no like game 7, move the runners over or like all these like a quality at bat. I want him to swing for the fences, and that's who he is. He's going against Shane Bieber. we don't really know for how many at bats, but I mean, he just swings like that against every single person. But the matchup against Shane Bieber, Bieber's a 4-seamer slider guy that matches up from the right side pretty well for Suarez. They both have reverse splits. So Bieber was allowing over 900 OPS to right-handed batters. Suarez, 36 of his 49 home runs came against right-handed pitchers. So that all kind of aligns. I felt like this should be closer to like plus 340. And Suarez is kind of like one of those guys who runs hot and cold. And he's obviously running hot. He had the 2 homers in Seattle. He had the grand slam where he had the stadium shaking. And even yesterday, he had the single, he had the walk. So I'm going to play Suarez here, plus 425 to hit home run. Jingles, you have a home run prop as well going against the Blue Jays. And you might be going to the game. I think this is crazy, but you love the price. Break this one down.
This could be a silent fist bump for the Mississauga man. But at the end of the day, we're bettors and we bet. It's just a giant number for Josh Naylor. Like, this is the same price once we scroll over to Josh Naylor there, plus 700 again. Like, the guy's got, 3 in the series. He won't have to face a tough lefty because the Jays don't have a tough lefty. 22 home runs in this series over 6 games is wild. Plus 700. If you're looking for a side to maybe bet something on the Seattle side to emotionally hedge, plus 700 for Josh Naylor for a guy who never cheats a swing is a silly price. I know you got him at plus 600, but I think a lot of these prices, Johnny, when we're looking at these home run prices in terms of where they are compared to the implied team total or how many runs are going to be scored, because that's ultimately where you see these big prices. I don't know if this is going to be a lockdown 2-1 game, 3-1 game. Like, we're seeing a ton of home runs, both best arms, and they've seen each bullpen well. Plus 700. I don't know. I think if I haven't looked at the market yet, but if there's like over 1.5 home runs at minus 110, minus 115, even minus 120 or better, I think that's probably not a bad look. Probably 2 home runs in this game, hopefully 1 from Naylor. Or hopefully not. If I lose this, I'll be happy. But if I see some Seattle damage, I'll take plus 700.
That was kind of my thought. I'll throw this to the chat too, because I kind of was looking to do like a home run parlay of 3 guys just for fun. I was looking at Nail. I was looking at Suarez. I couldn't nail down a third person. So chat, if you want to throw out a third person that you like, and I'll put it together and hit.
I was going to say Vladdy.
Yeah, Vladdy. It seems obvious, right? Feels like one of those. Just put Vladdy in there. But if there's someone you guys like, throw in the chat, and I'll make a parlay out of it. I feel like you always look at game 7s in like baseball and you're like you said, it'd be like a 2-1 game, high leverage arms of the bullpen, all those things. It doesn't feel like this game has that.
Jays series haven't been like this, man.
No, not at all. Yeah. Like, it's one, like George Kirby, like you were saying, they just hit George Kirby. And then Shane Bieber, he's had some up and down games here. He hasn't been the greatest. Like, he was really good in Seattle, the last one. But then you go to both bullpens and you're like, neither bullpen's been that great either. So it's like, it feels like almost like, and it's in Rogers Center, which is a good hitting ballpark. It feels like it's going to be more of a who's going to win it with their offense than who's going to win it with their pitching. So
plus Hoffman threw fucking 35 pitches yesterday for some dumb reason. Like, it's the bottom of the order. Schneid's like, you can bring in Dominguez. You're okay, right? Like, he did his high leverage spot. He doesn't need to come out for the 9th.
We got a 3-3 tie between Springer and Varsho in the chat.
Well, don't do Springer. Don't do Springer.
Springer's the knee looks a little.
He had some bad hacks at the end of that game. Yeah. Varsho had some great swings that I thought were yard right off the bat, and he just didn't get there, which was sad. And I think it's like Barger's been bad, but that home run yesterday didn't take too much for him to get out of the ballpark. I thought he got it off the end of the bat. Varsho squared some up. He didn't get them out. Ernie just don't have the pop. We saw him go off the wall, and I wish I saw more replays of that goddamn hit, but we didn't see him. But I think, maybe Kirk. My 2 guesses are Kirk and Barger.
Varsho had the double against Kirby, right? In Seattle, where it hit the top of the wall too.
Yes.
That was against Kirby. So
Lucas
that'd be crazy.
Imagine I think he's used them all up.
Yeah. I think he's like plus 1,500 though. That was like I think JP Crawford was like plus 1,500 too, and he's like 7 for 14 against Bieber. But you're like, now he's gonna hit home run. But it's like there's no power there, right? Like, it's all singles and stuff. I felt like to backtrack, as you talk about Hoffman, I was kind of leaning more towards taking the Jays on the money line, and then you're like, I just don't love that they use Hoffman for 35 pitches. You know what I mean? Because like they don't really have many good bullpen arms, and even if you do bring him out, like it's not he will pitch again. I'm assuming he will pitch again today. It's game 7, you have to, but it's just that doesn't mean he might not be tired, or you just saw him back-to-back days, like all those kind of angles. So the money line just seemed to be pretty close both ways. I didn't think there was an edge either way, but I was leaning more towards the Blue Jays just from I feel like you've been playing behind the whole series, right? You're like down 2-0, then you go to Seattle, you're trying to catch up. This is the first time it's like tied. And like we feel like, and the Mariners, to me, it feels like you should have won it multiple times. Like when you're up 2-0, you should have won it. You're up 3-2, you should have won it. And it's like now it's like it's finally tied. And there's kind of that more pressure. You're on the road. You kind of see seen them boot some balls in defense yesterday. Rogers Center can get really loud. So I was leaning more towards like Blue Jays for all those reasons that aren't math type thing. But man, you just see Hoffman and you're like, I just don't love how they played that one out. So, and I feel like Schneider's been a little shaky with the decisions as well. So I'm not sure.
It's big leverage spots. Like you have to make a decision in the moment. You see it in NFL coaching where it's like, yeah, you've probably planned everything out, but in that moment, you just make a bad, quick decision. And that's why you see like bad coaches are game managers, right? That's why Aaron Glenn just can't fucking run a 2-minute offense. It's why Schneids and Schneids is that manager who he'd rather be best friends with than have his team hate him because he makes a tough decision. Right. So that's why we're going to get Hoffman again. And we saw Hoffman kind of fade down a little bit from pitches 25 to 35 down at the bottom of the order. But I mean, that's the edge Toronto has in this series. Their bottom of the order has been absolutely the catalyst for this offense. 7, 8, 9. Now we're only in the 6th spot. And then the bottom order of that Seattle lineup is absolutely booty cheeks. When you see Dominique Canzone up there, you're like, this is the soft spot in the lineup. I mean, I don't even think you'd like it. There should be some spots where you just say, no, I'm not going to pitch to Suarez because I got Randy, Canzone, JP Crawford, and then that guy who seemingly gets picked off every time he gets on base in Rivas.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous with that with just a Rosarina behind him, but I feel like Suarez just won't take a walk, or he'll just. I feel like he is that kind of guy.
Or stop! Please stop pitching fastballs to him.
Yeah. But what was I gonna say? I think. Nick's important. Should I say? I think he got lucky with the Savage was probably done in the 4th. I think they're just trying to push him maybe a little further because you were back-to-back days for game 7. You don't want to bring out the bull, but then he throws Hoffman, so I guess that doesn't make much sense.
Yep.
I'm
just trying to find the updated price for the Vlad MVP winner, because I don't know if you can get down as much on that market as maybe just a straight money line market, but for most people it probably doesn't matter. But I think that's probably if you can get him at like -110, -115, he's going to win it. Like instead of the Jays money line at -132 that was like -115 that's moved to -132, 135. I think that's a better look.
If you're the Dodgers, who do you think they want to face? Probably the Blue Jays, right?
I don't know. I think we just celebrate if the Jays win, just celebrate an American League title, and then you're playing with house money, and you get to face the big boys and see what happens there, right? Like it's just exciting if you do win to go see the Dodgers, right? To go see Mookie, go see Ohtani, go see Freeman, to go see the best pitching staff in all of baseball. But like if the Jays have some hot bats, it's not a bullpen. If Dave Roberts has to lean on that bullpen, that's where things could fall off for the Dodgers.
Vlad is -110 at Bet365 from the chat.
Yes, and that's so. And then you're seeing -130 for the money line. I don't see a world where unless Shane Bieber goes 7 innings of like no hit, like that's your spot where he could take it. Or they said Max Scherzer could come in to do, but I don't think he'd probably just see the order one time.
No, I think it's definitely Vlad, and they're like -135, -140 on the money line. So I definitely like that angle to take Vlad instead.
That makes sense. There, you're thinking
maybe Seattle because it's closer trip in the same time. Yeah, I don't think they would love to come to Toronto. To be honest, the Dodgers probably love to stay in Seattle for the travel. So Jays,
the country of Japan would also prefer Seattle series versus an East Coast game with 3 hours better at their time. Because I think the 3 o'clock game. I think the East Coast primetime, the West Coast primetime games are like 3 o'clock, like somewhere around 5 You can wake up and watch it as opposed to it at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Last question for you. So the Blue Jays, Gosman will be in the pen. Is that, does he do that?
Yeah, they say Gosman's available, Scherzer available.
Scherzer and Gosman. And then for the Mariners, I'm assuming it's Luis Castillo and is Bryce Miller in the pen? I don't know if Bryce Miller would be in the pen, but I mean, maybe.
They should probably throw Bryce Miller. He's the only guy who's had success versus him.
Because I know in that 15-inning game against the Tigers, they brought out Logan Gilbert, but that was different rest. Logan Gilbert pitched yesterday; he's definitely not pitching. So they
Castillo closed that game out too, right?
And they used Luis Castillo as well. So they really leaned on all those kind of starters. They kind of almost faded the bullpen a little bit and went more with the starters. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do again. Maybe it's Bryce Miller, Luis Castillo. So there's going to be a lot of play here.
I would prefer if Schneider just went with starting pitching, like a stack starting pitching, and just stayed. And then maybe Dominguez. And that's I don't want to see Louis Varland again. He's been great. Like, he gives up so much hard contact. They've seen a lot of him just because of the arms he keeps throwing. But if he's going to go lefty, I don't think he's brought out Lauer enough or at all in these spots. So it's probably going to be Mason Fluharty on the left side if he wants to face Naylor or turn around Cal. But like, you don't need a lefty that much in this lineup because Cal just goes to the right side.
Yeah. So what's your dream scenario? Your dream scenario would be Bieber to maybe Scherzer for an inning to Gosman to Dominguez?
Bieber, Gosman, Scherzer.
That's it? Just those three?
Game.
Fall game. Scherzer with the close, with the save?
Yes.
All right. All right.
That's my dream scenario because the Hoffman's not on my dream card list right now at 35 pitches yesterday.
Hal's saying, when does the World Series start? World Series would start Friday. So
Friday. And they don't announce fucking MVP until like November 15th. Like, do it like before the World Series, man.
Yeah, Max Scherzer save is absolutely diabolical. So
but that's what you want. Like, there is only like 2 criteria that you need as a closer. And one of them is being an absolute lunatic.
Yeah.
At Scherzer.
Yeah, talking to yourself on the mound. That's Scherzer, one of my favorite players of all time. All right, we will leave it at that. We have 4 bets. You have the Yurfie plus 115, Ernie Clement plus 154 there for the over 1.5 total bases. Was that?
Yeah, total bases. Yeah,
1.5 total bases, and then Josh Naylor home run plus 700. I got Eugenio Suarez hit home run plus 425. I'm gonna parlay Suarez, Naylor, and I'll go with Varsho. Varsho was kind of tied there in the chat, so I'll go with Varsho. I'm going to parlay those three. I don't know what the price is, but I'll put that out on X later. Good luck. Enjoy Game 7 of the ALCS. We will see you back here Friday. There won't be a game until Friday. That'll be Game 1 of the World Series, either the Dodgers against either the Mariners or the Blue Jays. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy the game. Pray for Jingles as he tries to navigate his way to this game. You got to let us know on social media how that plays out, how that call actually went versus what we saw on air here. You got to let us know how that plays out today. So you go to the game.
I'll follow up on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Follow up with us there. All right. We'll see you guys Friday. Good luck with your bets. Enjoy the game.